As we ride on board here with Max Günther, can he put Maserati into the duels? It's close, but it's not close enough as Da Costa goes up to third quickest as well, but he gets his lap time deleted for track limits. Rowland goes through into fourth place. De Grassi improves up into fifth position, but Cassidy goes top of the lot at the end of Group A qualifying, to the delight of Jaguar. Around the final corner here with Hughes. What's it going to be for him? Second fastest he is. He's going to improve. Surely he's going to go top of the pile. He does by nearly 3.5 tenths of a second. That is hugely impressive from Jake Hughes right at the very end. And Van Dorn gets up into third quickest there as well. Puts Dennis onto the bubble. Are we going to see any more improvements in time? Buemi doesn't improve, but Bird does and knocks out reigning world champion Jake Dennis. So Jake Hughes, Pascal Wehrlein, Sam Bird and Stoffel Van Dorn make it through into the duels. 73% of you think it is going to go the way of Robin Freins over Nico Müller in this one.
Freins now coming up. He's got a big slide coming through the penultimate corner of 13. Gets the nose into the apex nicely. And the combination of all of that sliding just completely destroyed his final sector.
Jean-Eric Vergne versus Nick Cassidy. The 1:16.993, that's a very strong lap time from Jean-Eric Vergne. I don't know if Cassidy's going to have a response to that. He was quicker in the second sector. He's going to have an almighty final sector, but he does. He out-qualifies Jean-Eric Vergne by 32 thousandths of a second. As we were out for quarter-final 3, now Sam Bird versus Pascal Wehrlein then. Through the final couple of corners then comes Sam Bird as he comes to the timing line. What is it going to be for him? We've seen a 1:16 and we see another, a 1:16.954 for Sam Bird. Is Wehrlein going to have anything in his locker? It's very close between them, less than a tenth of a second separating them as they come to the timing line then. And Wehrlein does it by just 72 thousandths of a second. 71% of you have got faith in Jake Hughes compared to just 29 for Stoffel Van Dorn. Stoffel Van Dorn is coming through the final couple of corners. Let's see what it's going to look like for the Belgian driver out of the final corner, and across the line he comes. It's a 1:17.094, but Jake Hughes nearly 7 tenths of a second. That is absolutely fantastic. For the semi-final lineup then, Jean-Eric Vergne versus Nico Müller. The first sector he was 7 tenths of a second off already. Second sector he was only 2 tenths of a second away, so you wonder whether Müller made a bit of an error that we didn't quite see. And Vergne a second faster.
What the Keep going, keep going.
So that's what went wrong there for Nico Müller. He had a power cut. Jake Hughes versus Pascal Wehrlein then. In towards the last couple of corners for the Tag Heuer Porsche driver. And again, building still here for Jake Hughes. He was faster by 2 tenths of a second in that second sector. Around the final corner comes Wehrlein as he comes to the timing line. What's the score on the door going to be? It's a 16.8, but Jake Hughes is absolutely flying in that neon McLaren. He comes around the penultimate turn. 2.5 tenths is the advantage, unless he has a shocker of a turn 14. He's not going to throw this all away, and he's going to be in the fight for pole position. Gets it sideways, but what's it going to be? It's a 1:16.817. He lost time in the final sector, but he had enough in hand, and he joins Jean-Eric Vergne in the finals for round 7. Jean-Eric Vergne down towards the first corner in the DS Penske. What's it like into turn 1? Looks okay. On board we ride now with Jake Hughes. He's been so quick in those first couple of sectors. Had a bit of rear instability though in the practice sessions, but no problems here for him now. Looking pretty good. He's really harrying that car, and you can see just in the first sort of mini sector there, the first intermediate, he's a tenth of a second to the good of Jean-Eric Vergne. We'll get a better representation as he comes into turn 5 though. That's where the first split time is.
Yeah, he's definitely working the wheel right on the edge of adhesion, which is ultimately the goal. Gained himself a couple of tenths in that first sector.
On board we ride with Hughes. This is where he's really strong out of turn 7 as well. He just gets such a good line and such a good slingshot here. 2 tenths of a second up in that first sector. Nice and neat and tidy here for Vergne as he comes through into the decreasing radius right-hander of turn 11 and turn 12. We've seen a few drivers coming a cropper, but Vergne seems to navigate it quite nicely. Hughes pulling out a little bit more of an advantage. In the first sector, it was advantage Hughes. Vergne was quicker just by 100th of a second or so in that second sector, and now just 1 corner remaining here for Jean-Eric Vergne. What is the lap time going to be for the double Formula E champion in the DS Penske? He comes to the timing line. It's a 1:16.783, but now it's all eyes on this man here for Jake Hughes as he comes around the final corner and to the line. Is it pole? Yes, it is! A 1:16.538 pole position, number 3 for Jake Hughes in the neon McLaren.